Hey everyone, Corey here, coming in to do the energy update for April 2024. So today is April the 1st, and this is my birthday. So I'm feeling the energies of all of this. Today we actually went into Mercury retrograde right on the 1st. We have so many things that are happening right now in the energy that it is like crazy. It is astrologically crazy. It is energetically crazy. It is things we have not seen in our lifetimes. It is powerful moments. There is episodes and things that haven't happened since about 2000 and probably about 2005, like to 2006. It just, I feel like there's long stretch, there's long periods of times where a lot of this energy is like it's new to us. We do have the new moon, the solar eclipse coming up in a super moon, all happening on April the 8th. You just can't make this up. I believe April the 5th, there's another big transit shifting energy that's happening. We also have a lot of Chiron is really dancing around right now. So we have a lot of Chiron energy. We also have a lot of the shift. So just like the pillars, the way I'm seeing it is like when you see the pillars in the High Priestess card, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of that High Priestess pillar of these two pillars on each side. And so we have that wide open heart energy. We have that sense of, wanting to do everything from the heart. We also have this sense of discipline. So knowing our boundaries, knowing what really sits with us well, which then moves us into a lot of this sense of cardinal energy, a lot of kind of being aware of our truth, being in charge. And it is a heart opener. So there is a lot of heart opening energy. But when we open our hearts, when we truly learn the power of living from our hearts, is we also have to remember that sense of knowing how to care for thyself, along with also caring for others. It is such an important energy. Now, there is a lot of trickster energy that's come in that has seeped its way in through. And so we do have a lot of trickster energy and kind of hiding, wanting to stay hidden from that or trying to protect ourselves from that. Well, sometimes that trickster energy is something that we have to face head on. You may be seeing a lot of this come up and come forth in your own sense of holding on to identity, personality, who you think you are, because we create that personality, remember, who I think I am. And I can say this time and time again. This is something Carl Jung spoke a lot about. This is something Freud speaks a lot of. Is that sense of self? Is that who is that self? And this sense of self that you that ID, that identity that you create, that persona, the mask that you wear in creating the person. And it's like most people believe they are who they are, and that's all they are. And it's like, no, that's who you became. So everything of who we became, from survival, from surviving, from living in fight or flight, from traumatic experiences and moments in our lives. I mean, the trauma is not the experience that happened to you. It's the habits, the behaviors, the patterns that we create after the trauma, in that sense of protection, self-preservation. This all ties big into self-esteem. Self-esteem is a big topic that is really truly in the energy right now, because we are in reflection. We're in revisiting. We're in having to re-examine, re-look at self, looking at that self, because we are in a massive period of ascension, breakthroughs, as we are also shifting from one era into the next. I mean, we're moving into this golden age. We're moving into this Aquarian energy. And so it's where the weird, the wacky, the wild, all things are happening. All things are taking place. April, the fire energy, the leader, being the first of the zodiac sign, that sense of, and so Aries in the Pisces, when we were still in March, still had March energy. Now we're into April energy. Now we're into full budding, kind of like explosions of energy. It is blossoming. And so our hearts may have one really good intention, that things we want to do, but we have to question the why to that intention. Why am I doing that? Why am I still being this person? Why is this happening? And so many things are coming up, but it's also, if you're a seer like me, you're seeing all those veils of illusions, even around the people around us. We're seeing beyond all of those things. And we're seeing life, and we're seeing people, and we're seeing energy. We're seeing things differently than we were seeing them previously, even before, because there is a shift. We're looking at a different view. And so we're seeing things in a different way. Or we're seeing a new view, like new lenses. We've been given new lenses. We've been given new perspectives, new ways to view things. Now, people are chattering and talking, and there's a lot of videos, and there's a lot of conversations, and there's a lot of fear stories, and there's a lot of assumptions, and there's a lot of speculations around the April the 8th solar eclipse. And, it's like, oh, gotta hide, this is going to happen. But it's like, is that not a distraction somehow? So do we not see the distractions, right? It's so easy to get caught up in what's visually happening in your energy, what's present, but what's happening behind the scenes. And this is where the sinister energy works the best. It doesn't work in what's big and what's right in front of you. It works in what's behind the scenes. It's always that master manipulator that pulls the puppet strings, gets everyone caught up and looking one way, gets us distracted from things so that something else can take place. Be more concerned about what's happening behind the scenes than what's happening in the big picture, right? It's like there's something more that is taking place. Now, bring that into ourselves, bring that into the small energy, bring that within ourselves, in our own inner self. We may be, you may be, I may be, every one of us will at some point be, in one intention, doing one thing. But we also have to really, truly have the courage to face that version of the self that also has a motive behind the good intention, because that character of the hurt, the pain, the unresolved issues, the deep-seated secrets have not fully been resolved. And so if they have not fully been resolved, if they have not been released, then there is something of that action that is acting out behind the scenes. It's like, so I'll even get her think she's doing all of this in your own self. But who is thyself? Who is that true self? And being able to recognize things within ourselves, being able to see things within yourself that allow you to be able to see what else is happening. What else am I feeling? What else am I hoping for? What am I really, who do I really want to be to the people around me and in my life? Who am I trying to be? And why am I trying to be that? And why do I still need to fuel up on that? Why do I need to be filled up on that? Why do I need the imposter to fulfill me? Why do I need imitation to try to make me feel as if this is my true energy? This is my true truth. There is a truth that comes in the light, and that's why it's so hard to stay in the light. That's why compliments are so hard. That's why healthy living is so hard. That's why deep-seated awakening, enlightenment work is so hard, is because most will make it half, 3/4 of the way, and that's good enough. I feel good. I feel great. I don't need to go the rest of the way. It's because the old brain is trying to get you back to where it is comfortable. So the hard stuff, the hard things, is to be able to look into the reflection. And I spoke about this in the last message or the one before, when I said the awakening of the shadow that is revealing itself to be, this is who I am. Hurrah, hurrah. Look at me go. This is where I am. But there's a new energy that's here. And there's a new sense of self. And getting to know ourselves on a deeper level is so important. When we get to know us, we then allow ourselves to get to know others instead of assuming. Assumptions, assuming, creating stories in your head creating stories in your head and then adding a character to it and placing someone's face there is probably the most detrimental things that we can be doing right now. Being aware of that in your relationships, being aware of that with yourself, recognizing that, and recognizing that part of the self that has that is, like I said, it's always that last quarter mile is the hardest. It takes us back to that little piece, that little slice of the pie of we get right here. And it's like, nobody wants to eat that. Nobody wants to touch that. Nobody wants to go there. It's like, that is the last, it's when we can see our own ugliness, when we can see our own habits, when we can see our own motives, when we can see our own selfishness, when we can see our own intentions, when we can see that part of ourselves, we can also have deep compassion for it. And we can understand on a different level where it is coming from and what it is truly seeking. What is it that I truly, truly want? What is it that I truly desire? What is it that I truly need? What is it that I'm really, truly seeking? What is it that I truly, want in a healthy relationships with myself, with others? What is it that I truly want in my dreams? What do I really dream of? And you often hear me speak about, that becoming a celebrity and becoming all of that. So if you ask yourself, do I really want to be seen on that level? Because if I do, I also have to take all of the other things that go with that. The people who don't know you, that's assuming, that's building, that's creating stories, narratives in their heads, people that set out to be unkind to you. You don't want to live in that microscopic view of letting yourself be under the microscope of hatred and judgment and shadow and letting the energy vampires feed on and off of you. Think about that. Or would I want to just live a prosperous life? Do I just want to live a magical life? And whatever that magical and prosperous life brings, it doesn't mean that I have to be under the microscope. I don't have to be under the microscope of the light of the world to live my most beautiful life. Where do I truly want to live? What kind of relationship do I want to have? Do I really want do I really want a chaotic relationship, or do I want a dynamic relationship? Think about it. Use that, really contemplate that language, because are we going to continue to feed the shadow, feed the hungry ghost, or are we going to really start feeding the light, feeding the truth, and listening to our light and listening to our truth? And sometimes when we're really truly listening to your light, when you're really truly listening to your light, when you're there and you're in that energy and you're people calling me for my birthday, when you're in that light, is that's when you have to really truly see yourself and you have to see this reflection. But it's where compassion is, because it's the hardest thing is to sit in real kindness and real compassion. It's like constructive criticism that's coming from all the right places, because it really wants us to succeed in life and it wants us to grow. It wants us to see, our areas of where we're wasting away beautiful opportunities and beautiful moments, where we are distracted, where we are not seeing, the old habits. That the light wants us to see that. And the light wants us to exist in that. And the light wants us to be all of that. And that is a part of the divine. That's the presence and it's not, we're not unlovable. We're not loved. We're not good enough. We're already all of those things. So all of those things, we are not abandoned. We're not alone. So all of those narratives and stories that we tell ourselves that have a half-assed truth to it, or a piece of truth, is not really all truth. And so when we can release that and we can stop chasing that, stop trying to feed that, we get to what it is that we truly seek, what we truly desire, what we truly need, what we truly desire. If I were to ask to give back to me everything that's of my highest good, to live from my divine purpose, to live my divine truth, and just that, and that I'm going to be open to receiving just that, all of that, and that whatever does not align to that, I'm having the courage to say, take that away, remove that. Don't let that be in my life or distract me from my true call, from what I am here to be and do, to live my truth. And so much of this is so written in the stars for us. It is written in to you're more than your astrological sun sign. It's not just your sun, moon, and your ascendant. There's so much more to you. And the North Node is speaking volumes to us. Following our true due north is really a big part of what's coming up for us in the month of April, and being able to truly stay in the due north. What is that north? And yes, we may have been, overstimulated sometimes in that North Node living from a false self. But when you evolve into that healthy ego and into that healthy truth of yourself, and then you connect into that north direction, what do I know to be true? What do I know? What do I now know? Because only you, only the truest of you can be the one who holds the key that opens the door to your true future, to your true happiness, to the magic that is here for you to be able to work with, to allow for the alchemist, the seer, the inventor, the explorer, for whatever it may be, for it to fully come online and to grow and evolve from that place. I send you so much love and light, and I hope in some way that this month you get to truly just allow yourself to be a part of whatever this is, but to not be distracted by the carrot that's in front of you, by the fear stories, by, oh, go see, look at this. This is what could happen. Don't let the noise distract you from allowing yourself to get into active listening and listen to the silence and not to the noise. Because trust me, there's a whole lot more beautiful things and beautiful information and beautiful wisdom and a beautiful life that is in the silence, that is whispering from the voice of grace and the voice of the divine, way more intelligent, way more on a higher divine consciousness than that of what the loud noise is creating. I send you much love. Have a beautiful month. And if you like these videos, please subscribe. Thank you for being here with me for always. And I look forward to having much more to share with you in the month to come. Much love. Bye-bye.